You know why I'm here. Inquisition. Let's get to it. This is the explosion near what I assume is Haven, the village we know to be close to the Temple of the Sacred Ashes. If you don't notice what these statues at the top are, they seem to indicate a Templar-like character on the left, and a Venatori-like helm character, or possibly just a mage, on the right. The torch on the bottom right indicates a Ferelden area. The explosion itself was invoked in the heart of the village itself, and you can see a light blue sphere emitting such green and exploding the village at the top into a landslide. Some of the other mages at the bottom are fleeing, while the others are standing in awe. Or terror. The shield at the bottom right is a Templar shield, so perhaps these two were feuding up until the explosion occurred. Also, all the mages have black robes, which could signal either blood mages, necromancers, a whole lot of no good types. The conversation in this shot is a deep male calling out the Maker for not being real. The Inquisitor shows in a yellow thong with a humanoid, featuring a strange head at the top of the Fade-like area. This may be the same area from the E3 trailer in the desert. I want to note how there's a silver lining at the top of this unknown character that strikes open. The one character seems to have a bosom, as well as a tall hat. The Inquisitor is deliberately reaching out for this character, definitely knows what he or she is. Now, this is my speculation on it. Judging by the small hands, the slightly obvious bosom, and the long hat, I'd say it's a Chantry member, most likely Divine Justinia. If you saw Divine Beatrix back during the Dawn of the Seeker film, you know they wear a very, very tall hat. The Inquisitor wouldn't hold their hand out at a complete stranger, let alone a glowing creature. And the creature is also reaching out to the Inquisitor, signifying that they know who the Inquisitor is as well. Forward to the Inquisitor at the burning area, which seems to be some kind of military camp, judging by the wooden spikes as a fence and the training dummy in the back. The Inquisitor, Cullen, and Dorian. This seems to be an early point since Dorian is explaining who the Venatori are, as well as their leader, or at least the deity of worship, the Elder One. The next area is definitely Dalish, or perhaps dating to Arlathan, judging by the Hala or similar statues that are massive. Also, the architecture is pretty similar as well. It's definitely an unkempt area, considering the moss scattered across the floor, and a dragon trying to burn them as well. The Inquisitor, Cassandra, Dorian, and Varric. We hear Cole for the first time. He's definitely mangy in his hair and clothes, with an airy kind of voice. What we can assume is a mage being possessed or casting great magic, tattoo on her face, most likely Dalish, and a very well-crafted armor donned. And Morgan creeping behind her. Whether she is controlling the woman or not, we don't know. In the shot with Cullen, I do have to note that those are Templars, shown by the shields. The Inquisitor being thrown into the Fade, possibly at the beginning of all things. Now, I think this is in Skyhold, and this is the Inquisitor, and the Inquisitor, kinda Mass Effect Citadel-ish, but one with glowing green eyes that makes it overly suspicious. And talking about the Elder One in gross detail, I feel like there's a chance the Inquisitor can band with the Elder One given the chance. An internal conflict of who to follow and who to serve, who to trust and who to destroy. I really hope there aren't two Inquisitors and this is just a scene in a dream or similar, but who knows. Blackwall's attacked by a demon, empowered with green power in its veins. You can check the arms. Extremely sharp claws on that one. So melee creature for sure. The Inquisitor being attacked by a huge dragon fleeing the scene. There is a horn on the Inquisitor's belt, which reminds me of that horn used to summon the High Dragon during Dragon Age Origins outside the Temple of the Sacred Ashes. Dorian, the Inquisitor, Varric, and Cassandra affected by an earthquake or some unnatural cause. I think the main thing to point out is how ridiculously nice and flashy their armor is. Varric has red, ruby-like greaves on. Cassandra isn't even wearing heavy plate here. It's very nice and it's very bright. And the Inquisitor has shiny scales. Dorian's boots seem to have winged designs about, and, to be honest, looks rather bulky for a mage. The building behind is falling to rubble from red crystallization. Sarah dual-wielding this time around instead of her usual bow and arrow. In the background, there is a huge monster, seemingly above. Red eyes, possibly. Back to the Inquisitor, which I'm inclined to believe is in the Redcliffe castle at this point. It looks like the Inquisitor is only crossing because of his Fade magic. Now, I'm gonna totally spoil some things here, so if you haven't read The Masked Empire, please mute for like 30 seconds. I definitely think that this is related to the Eluvion, or possibly related in the same sense that for the Inquisitor, you need to have actually that kind of fade magic power, or that kind of attunement with the power that is present. Otherwise, you won't be actually able to pass. We saw this with the Eluvion whenever the elves were totally fine crossing through and the humans were having difficulty. And on mute. 3 unknown people sending their swords into the ground. There are feathers in their hair, but the armor worn is pretty extensive, so it's not Avarian. This is possibly a creature faction we have yet to see. The female mage we see is human, with a distinct part in her hair at the top and a gap between her teeth. She's casting fire magic as well. Something we see in the background is her companion, the same design from page 102 of the World of Thedas. Serpent on their clothing, a la Tevinter. So, could possibly be the Venatori, or something similar, or could be a Tevinter citizen. It's a demon. It's a gross, raw chicken-skinned demon with no eyes and awkwardly flexible range. Another dragon who seems really bone, judging by the neck and the very solid scales, but important to note that this dragon is in the Fade, and affected by it. Solas helping the Inquisitor, or forcing the Inquisitor, to extend his hand against a Fade Rift. Can I also note that you can see Solas wearing a knapsack instead of just wearing his armor? The next shot is from the bridge leading to the arena we've seen in the environmental trailer. The person seems to use a spell that causes a large area of effect damage. Reminds me of the blue spell that destroyed Haven at the beginning of the trailer. Shows Iron Bull being sent back, and the Inquisitor and Morrigan staying low, the same Tevinter mage from earlier, or one-like, casting magic. I think the one thing to take from this interaction between the Inquisitor and the dragon is that the dragon is docile. This exact shot reminds me of the fairy concept art named Dragon Tamer we've seen for Dragon Age. So we know not all dragons will attack. And it definitely seems that Cullen has the respect from the Templars in order to rule them. Morrigan coming out of the Eluvion while still shape-shifted as a bird. There is no way I can describe this blue portal other than the Eluvion. In addition, feels to be in Halam Sharal or outside another Elysian city. The grounds and flowers are well kept, the golden bordering the tidy bricked road, though they're immediately attacked by some green smoke, blue magic wielding mage. It's the same blue magic again. In the shot, it reminds me of the concept art with the great building in the middle of a huge source of water. And probably the most awesome part of everything, Hawk. Yes, confirmed as Hawk. And a Grey Warden to the left, who we've been told is not the Warden, aka the hero Ferelden. But this is in the Fade, and their presence is found by a large spider-like creature with bulbous pustules and hair and all about it. A dragon perched at the top of Redcliffe Castle, about to go after the Inquisitor, who was thwarted by another dragon, possibly the docile one from before. And before you ask, no, this isn't Flemeth, it isn't her dragon form. It's missing the 2 additional horns at the top. And that's the new trailer for Dragon Age Inquisition. Thank you for watching. I'll be back with an analysis of the gameplay seen at Gamescom later this weekend. My name is Ashe. Remember to subscribe for more Dragon Age Inquisition news and lore. Take care, everyone. I will see you next time.